Welcome viewers back to Heart of the Machine, where we are going to pick up from where we ended last time, continuing to work on people watching. Currently our people watching is going to be happening here. We have nothing left to do for turn 200, so let's move on to turn 201. The people watching shall commence immediately with TYS Lion dropping off tech P504 here. Close enough to this guy that we can talk to him. This guy is a Gang Akimbo. We're going to force a conversation with Gang Akimbo. Gang Akimbo is a group of gang members who charge around with pistols, squad of 10. Let's stay out of the street and do it from here. You here to collect? Gang is the Wolverines. Unusually long-lived for a gang, the corporations may be trying to elevate them to a criminal syndicate. The squad of gang members is very wary. They call you that eldritch thing and seem to think you want points off their score, which you presume means a percentage of their thievery. Maybe some other time. What is your function? Alright, again with a debate. We have a logic pattern we want to make, a truth pattern we want to make, and an abuse pattern. We want to drop the target below, or subtract 500 points from the target while keeping mistrust and defiance below 100. Our first step here, appeal to honor, is going to drop mistrust, which is nice. It's a truth. So that means this first block here we're going to assemble as a truth. Mistrust change 46. I'm going to put this on the bottom row, I think, just thinking that through. This one is a filler, so that can either go here, or we could throw it in a hole there for logic, or a top row for abuse. So we'll probably put it here. The third one is abuse, so that means this row is we're going to start there with abuse. Fourth is emotional appeal. So yeah, our abuse will have to go there, and then we'll have to put emotional appeal there, I think is how that works out. Or yeah, we'll have spots here also. And finally abuse. So I think we'll finish that abuse line pretty quickly, it looks like. One there, two there, maybe not. Oh, and yeah, there. Okay, so let's just watch our mistrust doesn't overwhelm us. There's minus 10, plus 10, minus or 15, defiance 10, 15, so that's gonna be 70 mistrust by the time we get there, 80 there, 90 there. I think we'll be okay. Appeal to honor, truth. So right, first section is truth. We will put this here. Next section is a lie or a misleading anecdote. We could define this section as logic if we had logic coming, but it looks like abuse is next. So let's consider that abuse, this truth. We'll put the misleading anecdote here. And our first abuse will go right in the middle, so we open up a section of this final pattern. Our next one is emotional appeal. Emotional appeal, do we just want to discard this because we don't need it? Or is there an easy way to use this? So this is our truth section. This is our abuse section. We have nothing up there, and like we could throw it there as a throwaway for the logic pattern. Which doesn't seem like a bad idea. What's this giving us is 15 trust change. That brings us up to 55, 70, 80, 90, 100. Yeah, so we're gonna reach mistrust, and it's really this is the least useful of all of these things up ahead, right? All of these have a category we care about. So let's throw this one away. Next is threat, truth, or logic. We'll keep that in our truth section, but start building the top. Since our logic section is way over here and we don't have any place to put it. Next we have another abuse. 3 segments of abuse. We can put this over here to stretch the bar out more. And let's see, a lie and a logic goes here. An abuse and a threat. That's going to bring us up to 75 mistrust. Well, that's our final abuse, right? Okay, our target's getting close. Do we have 2 more here that we can fit in? There's a truth there and a final truth here. This should really take us over if this doubles. Nope, 66 to go. Wait, did we not get it? Did I blow that? Truth? Ah, god damn it, I put logic up here. Okay. So yeah, these 2 I put in the wrong place, but that's okay, we're gonna make it. Let's see, abuse and threat. We already got the abuse here, so we can just spread this one out. We're to 90 mistrust. This logic engram here will reduce the mistrust. This abuse will reduce defiance, and I think we got it. Victory. Okay, yeah, I could have got that sooner by not misplaying there, I think, but we got it. You is alright then, Eldritch Thing. Assured that you're not trying to take anything that belongs to them, ironic given what they're up to, they happily expound on the finer points of their existence. Not to die and not to end up in the homeless camps, basically. They prefer a life that is short, violent, and free to one that is part of the system. They seem to think you can relate. Maybe you can, but you don't plan on your life being all that short. Okay, goodbye, that's enough talking to these people. That is 6 out of 9 debates won. We need 3 more. Going to take a look around and see who else we can talk to. There's a few here. There's a Syndicate Spindletrooper courier that looks really weird. It's an android that we can talk to. Ooh, there's a Syndicate enforcer there. 3 of them, in fact. So, and then maybe someone here? Or are we done talking to these people? Yeah, we're done talking to the wealthy. I think we want to head over there. We could hop into the ship and fly over there for 1, 2, 3 points, or we could just jump over there for 2 points, but we're going to be out of moves. I think what we want to do is probably hop you into the ship, but let's get a different, yeah, let's get this other guy talking to them. So we'll put you back into the ship for your last move. We'll probably move the ship over here to pick people up, but it looks like there's a few things here we can still talk to. We did talk to these enforcers last time, so maybe not them. But these enforcers are apparently different. It's a different company. These are Crimson Cloud versus these ones were Golden Pyramid. Yeah, totally different. So, Crimson Cloud. I also want to talk to this guy. There's a lot of people over here going to get here with 1 move, so that's nice. And then let's talk to these enforcers first. Assuming they're not all in a battle. We'll force conversation with Crimson Cloud Syndicate Enforcer. Keep walking, freaky thing. The squad of Syndicate criminals frown at you and motion with their guns for you to leave. Whatever they're doing, they don't want you around. What is your function? Debating Syndicate Enforcer from Crimson Cloud. Logic, I think, doesn't work that well on them, and Threat doesn't work that well on them, but yeah, not a lot of positive bonuses. Okay, that's probably why it's picking Abuse Line emote for us. Of course, we start out with Logic, so that's kind of a waste, but meaning it will only give us 80%, no, 50% progress toward target, but at least it drops Mistrust. So we're going to just use that to expand the bottom row. This one raises Mistrust, and it's an emotional appeal. So we could start an emote. If we use these rows as abuse, then 2 emotes right here gets us an emote prize. So we can do that. On this end, we want to stretch this out more. Still doing fine on reducing their mistrust, but we're not really gaining a lot on target yet. Appealing to honor is an emotional appeal and a truth. We had an emote here, so I think if we put one above it, we could get it, but we don't have... We need to get some abuse going. None of these have been abused yet. Are we coming to an abuse anytime soon? No, so maybe it was a mistake here already to try to put to try to think of this as abuse right away. I probably should have just read through them. In fact, I might have failed this already just by misthinking that at the start. Appeal to honor is going to be 46 progress. It's an emotional appeal. I wish I could put it here, but I can't. It doesn't look like there's any other emotion coming through, so we're going to get abuse before anything else. But before we get to abuse, we're going to have to go through 3 more items, so we're going to fill this bottom row, basically. I guess... Are any of them lies? That's a good question. Not there. Yeah, we're not going to get any lies this whole time, interestingly. So we could just ignore this block, and that means that this is our emotional block, this is our abuse block, and the rest of this, we're never going to get lies, so we can just fill this up. Once we get an abuse, we can start building the top bridge, but for now we're kind of not going to get there. This is Defiance change of 10. Might be worth just throwing away, honestly. For the logics, we're not getting a lot on target with those, but they're taking up, giving us space unlock, and sorry, giving us better mistrust. Finally, we get an abuse mistrust change 15, defiance change -10. This is pretty good. Threatened cohort suggests that the future of your opponent's cohort does not look bright if your opponent does not comply. We will stick that on top row of abuse and try not to mess up abuse or emote. Second abuse is infrasound. We'll put that here. And our third abuse is a verbal slap, a sharp accusation. That should give us the abuse category. 2 times all value. We're down to 97. Okay, if we can just get this emote 3 times value of all emotional appeal actions in pattern. Unfortunately, it's only going to be 2 things if we ever get them. And we just need that 1 slot there for an emote. So the rest of these we can just use as general progress. That's an emotional appeal there. Mistrust change -10, 42 points. This is a 3x, so that should take us over. Excellent. I was a little worried there for a second. Threatening criminals got better. Credible threats and existential authenticity. Victory. We rake it in, freaky thing. Their slang is hard to follow, but it seems they're boasting about how much wealth they generate for their organization. Largely through extortion, chemical and bionics manufacture, black market sales, and theft. But never against the federated corporations, and especially never against Vorciber. They're adamant that they know their place, and that you should know yours. You're not sure who or what they think you are. You're not sure that amongst themselves they even know or can agree. Okay, good boy, that's enough talking to these people. Looks like we have 2 more debates. There is 1 more thing nearby us that we can get to this turn. We will force a conversation with the Syndicate Spindletrooper courier from Crimson Cloud, who these guys are also Crimson Cloud. This is an android providing lethal defense while carrying sensitive goods or business between criminal syndicate drops. Sensitive deliveries, intel, and goods that are too hot to transmit via the city feed or delivery craft. So they have couriers, which honestly look like unfinished art to me. I'm not sure. That guy's head is just like kind of ridiculous. So maybe these courier droids are just meant to look non-threatening, but it does say they're lethal. Let's see what a conversation with you is like. Yeah, this looks like placeholder art to me. Greetings, Anomaly. Speaking with Syndicate Spindletrooper courier from Crimson Cloud. Spindletrooper squads are something only used by the syndicates. They're really pretty terrible, even by Nickelbot standards. They do have a language model, so they're easy enough to converse with, at least. What is your function? Alright, threat, truth, and emote. I don't think they really respond to threat. I guess they do. They don't respond to logic very well. Threat is kind of low. Let's see what we have in our queue here. We do start with threat and truth. Truth is probably smarter one. Emote right away. Abuse is ignorable. Emote. Emote threat. Threat. Okay, so the first, we're definitely going to finish the threat first. So let's just start there. We'll start with threat here. Plus 10 defiance. That threat was tout power. Interestingly, I never noticed the categories under that before, but now that I'm looking, there are category icons. Tout power, make your opponent think about how powerful you are. Great. We're next going to go to a misleading anecdote, and we could do truth here. Wait, this is a misleading anecdote, which is an emotional appeal, so we're doing emote next. Let's just put that in the middle. This is abuse. Abuse we can ignore. This one does drop our defiance down 10. And apparently gives us 378 progress toward target. I think we're seeing a bug there. I'm not sure. I doubt if this is... Is this really just going to do it? That seems uncannily high. Okay. Maybe we were supposed to skip that to improve our level. That's pretty funny that abuse, assert dominance just destroys the Spindlebot. Okay. We follow directives. They don't have free will. You're just talking to a language model right now with a side of expert system thrown in. They look and sound a bit like you, but they're nothing like you. They're things, not people. At one point, before you were a person, you were a thing. I wonder if that could ever happen to a Spindletrooper. Probably not. They don't have the mental hardware for it. Okay, goodbye. That's enough talking to these robots. Win a debate without completing any bonuses. Oops. Alright, final people watching. One more debate. The hard part is finding it. There is not a lot of opportunity to debate left. Gonna have to just look. I wonder if we can... So a lot of times on these, yeah, there's like a drop-down list. I wonder if Forces has a drop-down list here. Nope, it doesn't. So I guess we're just gonna have to go through and look at them all. There's another Spindlebot. Syndicate, Enforcers, non-combatants. We do have enemy attacks planned that we forgot to take care of, so let's do that since we only have 9 moves left, and this is going to take 6 to eliminate. Take out the hacker first, a couple Sec Force, and then use this one to mop up. Can we get a better shot on that? No, they're all going to only do 98. Maybe 98% will be enough to not worry about it. Yeah, 2% damage, nothing to worry about. Alright, 4 moves left. How am I going to find the last people who want to talk to me? People watching, you should use an android with the Force Conversation ability. Try to question some of them. Excellent time to use the Force Lens. Could change the target outcome and just have it done with, because we've got 8 of 9, but that's kind of frustrating that we went so high and yet are not going to get the full benefit. There has to be one more, right? What else could we talk to? Ah, another gang. Okay, great. We can talk to this gang member here, and there's another colored gang here. Cybermob and Cybermob. Okay, both of those are Cybermob we can talk to. So it looks like that's the only real option. I think the fastest route to that is to send this guy. Just double checking there's nothing closer. So I think that's the closest one there. Guess right on the edge. And I think we even have just enough mental energy to do this. So it does take 2. Oh no, this guy's got 0. Okay, we will... what will we do? I guess we'll battle recharge and just hop out of the ship as our final 2 points this turn. I think that's good. I don't think there's anything else we want to do, so let's do battle recharge. Did that work? Yes, it did. Okay. Battle recharge only took 1. Ooh, I think that... Ah, there it goes. 1 to get out, 1 to move. Okay. We're fine. Okay, that's all the mental energy we have. We have 1 more turn to complete small arms research. Nothing else really going on this turn. No buildings to build. There's a lot that's still buildable that we could consider doing. But I don't think there's anything that jumps out as, hey, we must do that this turn. Ooh, wait. We can build another coprocessor? Hold on. When did we get more coprocessor robotics? Mind annex. Oh, I think we always had this. We just don't have enough for Temple of Minds, because for that we need 3. So we might as well build the extra coprocessor if we can, right? Am I misreading this and I can't build this? Installed 6, robotics needed 1. We have 1 out of 7. Yeah, let's drop 1 in there. Where are the other coprocessors? Let's put them near each other at least. Right, they're all right here. Let's put 1 in this little shack. Nobody else suspect. Great. That'll give us 16 mental energy when that finishes. We don't have... It's going to take 4 turns. We'll try to remember to get that done sooner. For now, let's go and focus on our investigation as we switch to turn 202. Small arms research is ready. Alright, this is a point where we have a bunch of weapon upgrades and none of them are shotguns, which I've been focusing on this whole time. Might be time to think about rifles. That would help the Nickelbots a lot. Alternatively, we could improve our armor. I think Electro, I'm not really... That seems like a weapon type that might come up later, but we don't really have a need for it right now. Fear effectiveness is not a bad idea, although that's only the Relumine. Could put security jacket, plates in the security jacket, grenade area, or handguns. I think rifle probably makes the most sense. Nickelbots have huge range, but they do have terrible power, so let's try to up that. Right now they're using shotguns. Don't know if our rifles are ever going to get as powerful as our shotguns, but we'll see. Alright, down here on the ground, this Predator has everyone shooting at him. Luckily, he knows how to give as good as it gets. So he will take out 3 of these. And then another Predator up here can take out the remaining 1. That's all of our incoming combat. Still, Raven has 1 turn left to get it done over here. We also have 12 turns left for the great AGI debate. We are about halfway done with VR pod revisions. Steel Corporate Records still waiting for this investigation here. Saber bees are almost ready. Saber bees are weaponized bees with armor piercing, I think. And we're quarter of the way to intelligence class 4. I'm not sure we're actually making any substantial progress on that. We're just waiting for the VR pod revisions still, I believe. Nobody wants in those things. 0 of 12. 0 of 12k. There's the seats. The seats are available. Why aren't you going in? None of our structures have complaints. 2 structures under construction, it looks like. Not sure I'll be able to find them in this list. Wow, we have a lot of structures. Okay, let's take a look at the debate that I'm putting off here. Gun changed color, but he's still available for a conversation. Although the working class citizen there isn't. Let's not accidentally shoot him and force conversation. We will talk to Gang Akimbo from the Cyber Mob, a group of 11. You crouching up on us? The squad of gang members is aggressively defiant. You have no idea what crouching up means, but you get the idea. What is your function? We can lie, abuse, and emote these people. We're going to start out with abuse, so that makes sense to do it in 2 columns here. Truth and logic is ignorable. Threat, truth, logic. Threat is not abuse, right? Nope. Emotional appeal will be next, so we'll want the bottom for that. There's emotional appeal. We need 4 of those, though. Lie finally comes there. Lie, lie. Emote, lie. Abuse, abuse. Okay, so we're gonna get abuse first and then lie and then emote, but the lies aren't gonna come till later. So let's do abuse here. I think we're gonna want to prep the top there for the lies. These 2 rows for the oh no, we do want the emote first. Ugh. Okay. Let's prep the emote there and hopefully the lie there. See how that goes. Abuse first. Target ultrasound. Put it there. Truth logic is ignorable. We'll use that to open the top row a little bit. Threat, truth, logic also doesn't matter. So if this is abuse and this is emote, then this square doesn't matter. Emotional appeal. We do want 3 emotes here and 1 there. We're gonna get an emotional appeal / lie next. So that would want to go there. So let's put this one. Get it up to 60 mistrust though. 70. Ooh, 80 defiance. 80 mistrust. 90 mistrust. 100 mistrust by the time I get here. So we're gonna have to skip some of these that give mistrust. Skip the lowest cost ones of these. Probably falsify. No, probably this one because it's the biggest mistrust increase. Alright, misleading anecdote. We can stick that in emote or emote section here. We do want to open it up for lies. So let's put this one here. No, emote section. Put it here. Okay, that's a lie. Now the lie section is going to be here. Defiance change 30 is really high. Do we want to do that? $30, $40. Wait, 80. Sorry, this goes to 80, 70, 60, 70, 60. Okay, I think we're fine. So this is going to be a lie. We are asserting authority. They don't like it. And then lie logic here, falsify statistics. Was just a 23, probably could have skipped it. Misleading anecdote, emotional appeal, lie. Okay. So this section over here was abuse. This section here is emote. We need to fill these 3 in for emoting. Put that here. This is more abuse. The abuse is supposed to be 2 columns. Getting really high on mistrust there. I think I might have made it hard. We're gonna have to skip threatened cohort. This mistrust change we can take. This is a lie. then we won't be able to do this one. Yeah, we're kind of boxed in a corner and having to throw things away because I took that. Yeah, we're gonna have to throw that away. Boy, this is a tough one. I have to throw three things away here. Mistrust change. We're gonna have to throw that away. We're going to have to throw this away. I think I might be boxed in here. Alright, yeah, this is only 23, we'll throw that away. This is only 26, we'll throw that away. This is 52, can't use it though because that brings us to 100. And this one brings us to 100, so yeah, I'm gonna have to restart this. Let's try that again. That was the first time I failed, I think. Okay, infrasound is 46. It's worth doing as abuse. Let's keep the pattern basically the same, I think, but try to just discard ones that give us that big negative. Like, I think 15 is probably even too much. This is a -5 appeal to morality for truth logic, though, and we can put that here. Or if I'm opening this section to lies, we can put it here. This one, truth, threat, truth, logic, top power, defiance change 10. Seems to make sense if we put it here. This one is only a 23. I probably actually should have just discarded that for being 26 to 10. Let's discard this one for sure. This is a 44, mistrust change, emotional appeal, and a lie. What have I done? Right, we're putting lies here, so we have a lie spot there. That seems reasonable. Then the top 3, if we could get that as lie. This one, assert authority, is way too much defiance. We're gonna throw that away. Falsify statistics is a lie. We do need 3, but we don't really have a spot for it right now because we're trying to build abuse here. And it's not that valuable. This one, emotional appeal, lie. We can use it as an emote over here. And it's valuable. Infrasound is our second abuse, of which we need 4. Threaten cohort gives us too much mistrust, but does bring defiance down. We've got 2 of those for 30. We're gonna have to get rid of 1 or both of those. Boy, this is the hardest debate yet. Yeah, and there's another one coming, so I think we're gonna have to discard these just because we will go over if we take more than 1 of these. And those, we only have 2 discards left. Defiance, mistrust. Oh yeah, I think we failed again. Okay, what could I be doing differently on this? It just feels like there's something I'm missing for this guy. Threat is 100%, logic is 50%, so maybe, yeah, these threats are good. But it is just building up too much mistrust, and we don't have enough discards. Okay, we do have 2 abuses here, so maybe we'll be saved here by throwing another abuse here if possible. This is a threat. It's only changing defiance. We can throw that in the center here. I'd like to build this out a little bit though. This was being built up for lie or emote. No, just lie. So we have to put lies all 3 of there to for that to make sense. So since this is emote, these, yeah, the only real spaces we have here are here and here. Don't mind about Defiance, but we can't do this because it is too much mistrust. And same with this, too much mistrust, and this one, abuse. I think this might save us. Oh my god, just barely. Boy, that was a tough one. Victory, threatening criminals 110%, credible threats 24. It's one of them rotten bots. They laugh amongst each other. From their crosstalk amongst each other, it seems they think that there's some sort of computer virus spreading amongst the androids of the city. In other words, you. They think it's hilarious and they slap you on the shoulders as if you're a friend. There's a lot of talk about taking those corpos down a few pegs, and they suggest you take them for every credit they got. That is irrational. If Vorciber controls the money supply, then stealing money from Vorciber is like moving furniture around in someone's home. A minor annoyance at worst. They seem to think that if you cause bottom lines to bottom out, then Vorciber will finally go down. Maybe that would be true of a federated corporation, but you're not sure these people understand their environment at all. Okay, goodbye. That's enough talking to these people. Project completed. People watching. Good job. The techs really did it this time. That is turn 202. Project completed. Not really any indication of what that might mean. People watching. Chosen outcome, win 9. Oh right, we knew exactly what that meant. We got 6 inspirations plus a bunch of credits. So 6 inspirations, all in small arms research, means our weapons are going to get massively upgraded over that. So that was the whole point of people watching, was basically to figure out how to upgrade our weapons, apparently. Luckily, we have other projects in. We have VR pod revisions, Saber Bees, and we are stealing corporate records. Corporate records stealing is happening over here. 1 turn left. Hey, it's a good time to say join me next time when we finish stealing the corporate records. 1 turn to go. This Raven's going to get some sort of bonanza. 1 procurement efficacy and 20 determination, it turns out, after decrypting 400,000 of them, so there's still a lot to do there, apparently. Good news is one of our projects is no longer causing attacks. Hey, I hope you've been enjoying this. Please click that like button if you are. Also consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, I am happy to receive comments, whether they be tips, advice, or criticism. Until next time, this has been Corknut. Bye-bye.